We in it. We in this. Peace. For real though, how's your outlook today?
My outlook today is great.
Is it better?
Yeah.
Than yesterday or the day before?
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's good. We were both in a little bit of a funk.
In the dumps, man.
Yesterday was rough.
Enough to where we shot a podcast and was like, we got to scratch that.
I don't know if it wasn't the content of the podcast.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it was. We had technical difficulties with audio.
There's an audio only version.
Yeah.
It'll be out. Maybe.
Yeah. I think we'll probably cover enough of it today to be like, nah, whatever. Yeah. We'll see though. Whatever. So, boom, Jake. So it is Thursday morning.
Yep.
And it's early. We started setting up at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah. We're trying new cameras today.
New cameras. Boom.
This is a thing now.
It's a thing now. I can't help it. It's just a thing. Oh, no. Boom.
I guess it is.
What do you want from me? All right, man. Let's get into it. So we're gonna actually let's dive back into what we talked about earlier this week.
Yeah,
a little bit, because I do believe there was some really good stuff. So we'll cover a lot of that, I think, or at least talk about it some more.
Yeah. Hopefully
we can hit the gold of it.
The good points out of it.
Yeah. So we talked about adversity earlier this week. Scrapped it because of the technical issues. Adversity. We were both at the time like feeling some heavy adversity on our lives, like pretty heavy.
Yeah, it was probably really good. It would have seen us in a different light. I know you've only seen like 3 episodes. That would have been the 3rd episode.
Yeah, full episode. Yeah.
But it would have showed us like we were so like out of it.
Dr. Phil was straight Eeyore State over here.
Yeah, if you haven't figured out, Dale has figured out a new name for me. It's Dr. Phil. I think it's because of my haircut, but he thinks it's because of the way I talk about everything.
It's both. It's both for sure. I think it's a little bit of the haircut, a little bit of the...
It's what, 75% haircut?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that because
right.
I don't talk that much on here.
That's a lie. So, yeah, we were feeling some adversity, and it was pretty cool, actually, because Jake was like, what are we talking about today? And I already had in my head, like, dude, I really want to talk about adversity. And Jake was like, dude, I'm feeling like we need to talk about adversity today. And I was like, bro, boom, boom, boom. It was like both of us. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
actually.
It was just kind of like it came together. We knew what we were going to talk about. And that's why I don't want to like just get rid of it, because there was some reason that happened like that.
Yeah, for sure. So I used a quote from Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Kind of opened it up with that. The quote is, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth.
It's true though.
Right? It really is. Yeah. Like you go into life, you go into your day, you go into whatever it may be, and you got this plan of like how things are supposed to go.
Right.
Right? And then someone happens, right? And you feel like it just wrecks your plans.
Yeah.
Absolutely wrecks you. And so what we started talking about was, how do we respond? How do we react? What do we do from that point forward? Right?
Yeah.
Because you have this negative, like immediately like smashing you, punching you in the gut.
Right.
Right. How do you respond to that? So one of the key takeaways for me, was man, whenever I feel like I'm being attacked or this adversity is coming in my life, I feel like my first step was don't get mad, or tell myself, don't get mad, don't get angry. And it's not always successful.
Right.
All right. But it's like the first step. And then I said, man, I pray right afterwards. Simple prayer. God, I need your help. I need help, period. Right. Flip-flop those realistically, but that's the order they happen for me. Right. Okay. Calm down. God, I need your help.
I really need your help.
I wish it was the other way around, but that's realistically how it happens. And then the third thing is, I try to logically think through how to approach this, okay? Because I'm like, all right, I don't know how to handle this situation. God, I need your help. Okay, now I need to actually dive into this and logically, okay, what's happening here, really?
Yeah.
Right? I've offended someone. whatever it may be, right? And so then I start going like having to try to process it versus like emotionally reacting,
Right.
and it goes into like a left field, right? And we have this massive blow up when it could be we just need to communicate so I can understand the point of view from the other person.
Right. And this is when dealing with relationships.
Specifically with relationships, which realistically, a lot of adversity comes with dealing with people. Mm-hmm. There is adversity, obviously, that with other things, right? But I would say most adversity we face is with other people, because if you're just around people, you're talking to people, and that's just to me, that's just
seems like every time you try to start off on a venture or you start off on something that you're wanting to change in your life, you're always going to have somebody
like pushback
come up and say, well, I don't know about that. And then it puts your mood back down.
Yeah, it can.
Well, I mean, adversity will do that.
Yeah.
And then that's what we were talking about the other day is like, once you get hit in the mouth like that,
yeah,
how do you bounce back, or do you choose to bounce back? Because there's people that are at this choosing point. There's a fork in the road, and on one side is success and one side is going back into being depressed or whatever it is that adversity takes you to. So
yeah, that's true. Good stuff. I mean, outside of relationships or dealing with people, there's plenty of adversity you face. We faced adversity this week. We had a podcast that we shot. We were happy with the content we talked about.
Podcast about adversity. Had
a ton of adversity. You spent more time than I did, but we spent yesterday 2 hours trying to salvage it. And it just fell apart. Like we were just like, finally, I was like, hey, let's try this. And then we're like, scrap it.
Yeah. But we're back in here.
Right? I think that's the difference. Like that's a difference maker whenever it comes to things that are non-relationship related is persistence, right? When you face adversity, don't quit.
Right.
You just can't quit. Like you didn't sign up for this knowing that it was going to be easy. Like if you were expecting something to be easy, then you're never going to accomplish anything, because the first time you face adversity, then you're going to quit right away, right?
Yeah, and we talked about how if you're not having adversity, then you're probably not pushing forward into something that's worth being tested. Like that's what I like from it.
For sure.
And we, throughout that process of talking, we kind of came to a conclusion that like accepting that adversity is coming is a step to get over adversity. Like if you know something's coming at you, then you have the power to like push through it. Yeah.
So we both like agreed on the fact that the more aware you are that adversity is going to hit you, the better equipped you are with handling it. Right. Because you get punched in the face and you're like, boom, well, you're in a boxing match. You're going to get punched in the face. Right.
Yeah. If you would have known that you were going to get hit.
Yeah.
Like if you go into it thinking, oh, this guy can't touch me.
Yeah.
Then you get hit.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Exactly.
Because you've already pre-designed in your head that I'm not going to get pushed back. I'm not going to have this.
Yeah.
When it hits you, that's when you cripple, you know.
Yeah.
But if you went into that knowing, you take your opponent and you're like, I have to give him credit.
Yeah.
Which in this case, it's life. It's the people that are going to come against you. It's the scenarios that are going to happen. Then you look at those and then you go into that situation knowing I've got to press through this. And I went into some things saying, some of the best experiences or the biggest wins in my life or the biggest breakthroughs in my life, adversity was right there, so strong and so heavy, right on the other side of that. Like right through that little push, that's where you're gifted. Like I said the promised land, but it's gifted, that place that you're trying to get, that place that you're trying to be successful in. It's right on the other side of adversity.
Well, it has to be, right? If it was, there's nothing worth having that you didn't work for, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the things we talked about in the gym this week was we signed up for what we're doing knowing it was going to be hard. Like if you sign up for something, most things, you're signing, especially like in the gym related aspect, you're signing up. Like you walk in my gym, You sign up, you do the first workout, you know from then on out, this is going to be hard.
Yeah.
But you don't shy away from it. You run towards it after that because you know the results of what we're doing is going to be worth it.
How many times do you think you've brought someone in? Because I came in and I remember my first day. I don't remember the workout, but I remember the feeling I had the first day. Was like you walk in, you see people doing things, you're like, it's okay. Like the first day, he's going to kind of walk me into this.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's like we're going right off the bat. How many people have walked into your gym and walked back out after that first workout?
Man, more than stay, unfortunately. Really? Yeah, because and that's not a good thing. You know, it's really not. Like,
well, for business, but for character or people's personalities, that tells you what we're dealing with as far as adversity.
So yeah, and I think so this is a little touchy or tough. I think that some people genuinely don't enjoy what we do for fitness. Right. And that's okay. I'm okay with that. Right. Do something.
Right. You've said that multiple times.
Be healthy. Right. But some people walk in expecting something different. And when it's not that and it challenges them, they shy away. Right. And that's what I'm like. That's something that we need to develop. Yeah. Right. I see that. And I see that as a challenge. Like, I'm like, oh man, like this was hard for you. And like, you know, you're bent over holding your knees and like, you know, you're breathing hard.
Every day.
Well,
it doesn't matter. don't like hide it. It doesn't matter if it's your first day or we're now a year and a couple months in.
Yeah,
I'm still bent over, grabbing my knee, breathing hard.
It's hard every day. You just, I love this. I love this phrase. It doesn't get easier. You get better.
Yeah. And then you get faster, but because you're faster and doing things harder,
you work harder. Yeah.
And you're tired still.
Too many people though quit right then and there, right? They mentally give up. Their body physically is tired. Mm-hmm. And I'm aware of that. I'm like, I know their body is tired. And I tell them, I'm like, you're going to be tired. Let's not, I try to encourage them to like, hey, let's hold back a little bit today. Yeah. And like, I want you to be able to come back tomorrow. But people, they push hard because they see everybody else working hard around them. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times they're like, oh man, I got to go really fast like everybody else is or whatever it is. And they hit this point where their body gets exhausted, but that's not what wins. Mm-hmm. It's what happens in their mind.
Yeah.
Right? What happens in their mind is, I'm not good enough. This hurts too bad. All these things. And that's why people quit.
Right.
I commend people for walking into a place like this in the first place because it can be intimidating from the outside looking in. But people quit too early because they have not, they don't have the experience of facing this type of adversity, physical and mental adversity of hard workouts. I truly, truly believe that like if you walk into our gym and you can overcome these workouts, you are better equipped to handle hard situations in life because you're constantly, every single day, you're fighting a mental battle to quit.
Right.
You know what I mean? People
in all areas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every area you have that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It translates to so many other things in life.
Right.
Right? Like you're facing adversity in the gym. You're becoming mentally stronger and tougher. That's just the truth. Your body is, yes, also getting stronger. But the biggest adaptation, the biggest thing that happens with us, with what we do here, happens right here.
Right.
Absolutely, 100%. That's the biggest thing.
And that's what's crazy. If you take it from a biblical standpoint, it's like the Lord, that's like one of the first steps is renew your mind. Like it's the first thing that comes in that relationship is you start renewing your mind because this is like a ship and you got to steer this thing, and you do that with your mind. Like what you do, whatever you think about or however you portray yourself or however you portray somebody else, everything is done internally. So you've got to affect that to do anything. Yeah. When it comes to adversity, like I showed you that little diagram.
Yeah.
I'll kind of explain it. There's these two guys, they're in this tunnel, and one guy is walking back and he's all discouraged. And the other guy, he's still hitting into this tunnel. They're both digging these lines. Well, the guy that's walking back, he only had like 2 inches of dirt. that he had to swing one more time just to get in,
Yeah.
and he gets into this room full of diamonds.
Yeah.
Like he was right there. And the other guy, he's just going to town. You know, he's trying to get there, but he's not discouraged. He's not walking back. One guy was so close to getting
Breakthrough.
where he needed to be.
Yeah, the breakthrough he needed.
Yeah. And the other guy, he's going to make it, but so close. Like it's literally 2 inches.
Yeah.
You know, so he's so close
swing away
to getting
Yeah.
what he's been working so hard for.
Yeah.
And that's what I said is by that point, by that time you're hitting adversity and you've weathered it, or like you've gone through that storm together with adversity and you're fighting it, for you to stop at that moment and turn around, you're still damaged by the stress of adversity.
For sure.
You're still damaged by the toll it's taken on your mind, and everything has already done the effect, and you're going to not get any reward because you can't push through one more moment. And that's why I said the biggest breakthroughs are right on the edge of that.
Yeah.
So if you're into a time right now in your life that you're facing adversity, then there's like it's like you're on the uphill climb. You're already almost there. So to like liven up your spirit, because you're about to hit it big. Like that's where you're at. So I'm trying to explain, like, if you're seeing adversity, then you're right there on breakthrough.
Well, you are probably, if you're facing adversity, right? And it depends on the situation. So, right. If you're facing adversity, right, most likely you're on the path to doing something, right? If you're not facing adversity,
you're not on the path.
You're not doing anything, right? You're curled up in your bed, right? Watching TV and eating bonbons.
Yeah, and there's 2 ways that you got there. Either you're not trying, or you faced adversity and you've quit multiple times.
Yeah.
Because that's what another thing that we were talking about is that you can go through adversity and quit, and you go back to doing life. And you can do that so many times, and then eventually it takes... The decision that has to happen is that you either curl up and that's just where you're going to be the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Or you get sick of quitting.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm going to press through. And that's what happened with my business.
Yeah.
You know, there's that time where you're like, I'm so sick of quitting that I've got to push through. And when you push through, then you get to where you want to be.
Yeah. So I said something a second ago and I kind of like thought about it and I was like, well, that's not true necessarily. I said, you're not going to be doing anything. Well, it's true. You're not going to be doing anything, but you're still going to face adversity. Even if you curl up in a ball.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere. Right. So what's the best thing to do? You got to get up and fight it. Right.
Yeah.
If you don't get up and fight it, you will continually move backwards.
Right.
Right. So if we're talking about health, facing adversity in health, so like us coming to the gym every day, you give in to the adversity. Adversity is coming regardless.
Right.
Right? You give up. You don't exercise anymore. You quit trying to eat healthy. You shut it down. Adversity's coming.
Yeah.
Health
issues.
Health issues. Coming. Yeah. In the form of a doctor's visit and, heart conditions and all kinds of other things, right? So adversity's coming either way.
Right.
Time to tackle it head on.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean,
boom.
It is. I mean, it is what it is. Like it's gonna come, and we have to fight through that regardless.
Yeah.
But like you said, is that's something that's learned, and it's learned through experience.
Yeah.
So if you've never had to push through, now's the time that we start trying to push through.
Super good point.
Because if you can get through it one time, the next time it's easier.
Yeah.
It's just like quitting. Like if you take it the other way, first time to quit, I was preaching my whole life, hey, you're not going to quit nothing. You can't quit anything. We're not going to do it. If you had an obligation, you're going to do it. I can't remember when the first time I quit was, but after that, it was like easy to quit again.
Yeah.
And it stinks, but it's like everybody's quit at some point, I would think.
For sure. Yeah.
But you can only push so long before you quit, and then it becomes a habit. And then the habit is you quit all the time, and you have nothing nothing that you stand for in your life that you're like, I mean, I'm proud of this.
Yeah.
Like you're not.
Yeah.
When you become a quitter, like you start to feel that way.
Yeah. So you keyed in on something that like struck something with me. It's like overcoming adversity and facing adversity is practiced 100%. Right? You have to do it. You have to face adversity. You have to overcome adversity to get better at overcoming adversity.
Yeah.
You have to practice it. You know what I mean? If you don't practice or if you don't have experience in it, it's so much harder. Right?
How many times do you think boxers get hit in the face before they go into a fight?
Oh my goodness. Thousands of times? I don't know. It's got to be a lot, right?
They practice getting hit
in the face.
How many times have you seen them like have to flex their abs and they're getting pounded in the
That's a Rocky movie, bro. I don't know if that's real life.
No, I've seen. I mean, they do it all the time to like promote stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, it is something.
Yeah.
Even if they have the rib cage protectors on, they're still getting body hits. They have to. They're not seasoned. When they get that hit, they've never been hit there before.
That's true. They're not ready for it.
Fall down.
Yeah, because they haven't experienced it. It makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to like relate it towards the story that we're dealing with. Is like, if you see yourself and you're like, man, I'm just like failing every time in adversity. It depends on what you're doing. If you're just walking away from it, then that's a different thing. But if you're actually going towards it, I honestly think that you're going to get the win. I don't think you lose if you actually start pushing towards it. Do you?
Yeah, for adversity.
Yeah,
like attacking it head on.
Yeah, like I think it's that one decision to say I'm gonna go against it this time.
Yeah,
you're gonna win that time.
Yeah, in a boxing match, it's a little different because it comes out of the skill. But that's where my mind was. And I was like, I don't know, Jake. I'm gonna attack here, and then bam, 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 and you're knocked out. But no, in life and in facing adversity, attacking adversity or like facing it.
Yeah.
It's really the only way.
I mean, to be like, I think that God a lot of times uses adversity to build your character, because I'm better today because of adversity than I was before it.
Well, absolutely.
And I mean, even if you look at the price he paid, dude, he went against adversity.
The ultimate adversity.
Yeah. And like you said, you started off at the very beginning. You're like, is it really worth it? Like anything that or how did you say that? You said something about like, is it anything that you're going after, if you're not having to fight for it or something like that?
It's probably not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
And then to know that we were in that position for him to fight for us, that's cool.
Pretty cool.
I like that.
I like that.
You have a boom meter in the bottom corner of the edit. I'm just going to like
count them every time I boom something. Boom. Yeah, man. Pretty good.
Yeah. So you had a quote from Jose Altuve. That was really good. Yeah,
we talked about that one a little bit. The quote was, this is more about like headspace, like why you're doing things, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't remember exactly the quote, right? Not word for word, but the gist of the quote was, I'm not doing it for the people who are hating, who are negative, right? Mm-hmm. Like the haters. I'm doing it for the people who believed in me.
Yeah.
Do it for those people, right? So a lot of times we do things out of spite with a chip on our shoulder, right? Someone said I couldn't do this. I'm going to prove them wrong. Angry about it, right? Like I'm doing this because, right? And I think that's the wrong mindset.
For sure.
Right? Because you can accomplish something with the wrong mentality.
Yeah.
And you can accomplish it, but you get a negative result because of your mentality of how you approach it, right? Mm-hmm. Going into something and facing adversity with the thought of I'm doing this for the people who believed in me, I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing it because people care, I'm doing it for my family, these things, right?
Yeah.
The outcome is different because of your mentality going into it. And most likely the decisions you're making are going to be different as well, right? You have this negative output on it or this negative way of thinking towards facing adversity. The steps that you may take to get to the other side may be wrong and doing people wrong in the process.
Yeah. You'll get there.
You can get there. Mm-hmm. You may not have anybody left in your life when you get there, right? Versus, man, okay, who am I doing this for and why? I'm doing this because I want my life to be better. I want my family's life to be better. I want my kids' lives to be better, right? So we face adversity so we can be a better person, so we can positively affect the people around us.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's going to be more, I think it would be more rewarding when you get there and you have like a clear
conscious
on everything.
Yeah.
Because if you go into it with anger, anything with anger is it's just gonna turn into a mess.
Yeah.
And like you said, you might get there, but you're gonna destroy people getting there. Your life. Well, the next time you face adversity, even then, what if you don't have somebody to be angry at? What if you don't have that fuel? What are you gonna do then? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if your fuel is taken away, it's the longevity of being able to fight adversity for someone that cares about you or something that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
You know, like you take these people that they get divorced. Revenge body, you know.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
Yeah.
It's like a trigger thing. It like triggers them. I'm gonna show them, like, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes it works, and I've never been divorced, so I don't know what that's like.
You asked me last episode.
Yeah, you've been divorced multiple times.
So
is this the revenge body that I'm looking at?
It's not a very good one. Should have had more divorces.
They were like, no, never mind. I'll let him go.
Mind.
I'll let him go. Yeah, so I think that and that goes with anything you do. If you do anything with the wrong mindset, but you get there, it's still not right.
It can be damaging.
Yeah, but it's just still not right.
Still not right,
to me, I'm looking at like, yeah, you got there, but it's like, for me to give you like, oh yeah, that's worth the reward.
So
it's not.
Here's a good one for you, or a good example. I think you see it in the corporate world a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, how you get to a position.
Oh, yeah. You'll see somebody who obtains a position.
Yeah.
And they've stepped on everybody to do it.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, their 401k looks great, but they don't have a single person in their life that likes them. Right?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good example. I think it's anywhere. They try to cut corners.
You know? Yeah.
And it's like the character result after that is just, it's not worth it.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
No.
So we keyed in on something a minute ago that I was like, oh, we didn't touch on this. Like we talked about like negative like mindset and stuff like that. So this was actually a question so it kind of segues into it. This was a question from Jose. He asked like, what is the story that you tell about yourself, like in your head? Like what is the story that plays in your head about yourself? And I believe that like this plays into like adversity for sure.
It does.
So like the way I take that question is like, what are we saying about ourselves during adversity, right? Yeah. Are you the type of person that does this? Are you the type of person that does that, right? And is that story someone who's going, okay, I'm facing adversity, this is hard. Am I the person that steps up and takes charge, that attacks this head on? Or am I the type of person that is, man, I don't want to do this, right? And I'm shying away and I turn tail and run, right? What is that story? Who are you saying about yourself?
Yeah.
Right? And this one's kind of weird for me because I think it like changes.
The story changes.
The story changes in our heads frequently. There's times that I walk into the gym, okay, and I feel incredibly down about who or my performance, right? Before I've even done the workout, right? I'm like, dude, today's not my day. Everybody in the gym today is going to be like, who's this guy? He's garbage, in your head. That's
dude,
what
you're taking my story.
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm saying this is me every day.
Okay, this is me every once in a while. Okay, I'm not this guy a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not this guy a lot. Trust me, pal. You're not that guy.
You're not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me.
Nobody's going to get that reference.
Oh, they will.
People will. Okay.
Probably. All over the
but every once in a while, like I walk into the gym like with this negative mindset about who I am, my fitness level, and all this stuff, right? How fit am I? How strong am I? All these things, right? Doesn't happen often. I'm a pretty positive guy for the most part.
Yeah.
But it happens sometimes, right? And man, I try to, whenever I get in that headspace, I start playing that story in my head. I'm like, dude, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I'm not doing it for other people anyways. Number one, I'm here for my own health and my own benefit.
Yeah.
I don't care what other people think about how I performed that day.
Yeah.
Right? I really don't. And then other times I'll walk in and I'm like completely the opposite, like the 100% optimist. Like, I'm going to crush every soul that walks into this gym today. And that's my goal. And that's also a wrong outlook, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Here's why. Because if my goal is to, I've said this before, if my goal is to just beat somebody at something, I'm not winning. It's all about becoming better for me. Like, Dale needs to push himself because Dale needs to get better and improve Dale.
Yeah.
Right? Don't get me wrong. Like, me challenging myself by seeing somebody else's score is good. Why? Because like somebody does something and I'm like, that was impressive. I wonder if I can beat that. Mm-hmm. That can be a good thing, right? Because it challenges me in a way that makes me work hard. Mm-hmm. But if I'm taking shortcuts to get there, then it's a negative thing, right?
Yeah.
But I like to play really, I prefer to like, if for me, like to try to play like realistically, like, okay, how this works. I'm not negative about myself. I'm not this crazy optimist where I'm like dreaming in the clouds, right? But more realistic, like, okay, here's my skill set. This is how good I am at this or that. Okay, let's get better and let's try to improve, right? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Currently.
That's the story.
Maybe that's the story in my head.
Yeah.
Get better.
Yeah, I definitely think the story changes in the scenarios that you're in. And that's where like, man, it comes down to there's days that I'm like, man, I'm a good father. And there's days that I'm like, I'm not a good father.
Yeah.
I'm a good husband. I'm not a good husband.
Yeah.
But it's what you do after you tell that story to yourself. That's where I think it really matters. I can tell myself you're a horrible father, but the next day I take time to go be a good father. That's what matters.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that negative feeling, you can use that to power the next decision that you have. You're getting those feelings for a reason. You're just not going to be like, you're a horrible father. No, I'm not. And I just like go on with life. Hey, you really shouldn't do that as a husband. It doesn't matter to me. I'm here for me. You know, like it doesn't matter. Like those negative feelings come for a reason. And if you sit there and you actually like just, I would say meditate. I don't know if that's a good word or not, but meditate on something and say, you know, how can I be a better father? How can I be a better husband? How can I be better in the gym? Like when these negative thoughts come, they're not necessarily just.
It's not truth necessarily.
Push that off.
It's not. Well, it's not necessarily complete truth, but it's also not necessarily completely false either.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if that's my story,
it depends.
It depends. It depends on how you take it. If you take it and you run with the negative thought as truth.
Yeah.
100% in the negative way, like you're a bad father. Oh, I'm a horrible father and I'm going to shut down. Like this goes back to adversity. And a lot of times it's self-inflicted adversity.
For sure.
You start bringing this in on yourself and you're like, you're always faced with these decisions. Like I can either step up and be a better husband or I can stay the same and still getting the same results.
Yeah.
Like if you're having an issue and it keeps coming up, there's a problem. And you've got to figure out like, why is this keep coming up? And I've got to push through and change something to keep that from coming up again. And so, when it comes to me, like telling myself like, and Dee will always build me up. She's like, no, you're a great father. Like you do things good. And I take those things to heart. I really do. It doesn't seem like I do because like, but this, and this, like I'll tell her the negative side of it. But it helps to have her keep pushing me to become better at like father or husband. Yeah. And I always bring that up because those are like key points in my life. Right. Because those are the ones that matter. I can pursue any business I want. I can do anything I want to do and go full force into it. But at the end of the day, I've got to come home. And those people, those kids, that wife, they're my responsibility.
That's exactly what we talked about yesterday in class.
Yeah. It's just our responsibility I have to steward that. That's what's been given to me. And so I don't want to chase everything and lose my house. Yeah. You know? Yeah. That's a big thing to me.
So, it's for me, I can easily be distracted or work, right? Until I fall asleep. It's just my personality. Like,
so you're either working or sleeping.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. I'm trying not to be that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm not that guy.
You don't need to be that guy.
Yeah. But I can easily get wrapped up into the phone dinging and somebody's messaging me about something about the workout.
Yeah.
It can wait. But my initial response is respond, right? But I'm at home with my kids. Mm-hmm. And Nikki reminds me frequently, put the phone down, right? Yeah. And I've got to remember to be present. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to be home, I need to be present.
Yeah.
Right? Work is work. Home is home. My kids need me, right? And that's what we talked about yesterday. It was, man, for me, it was like it was a chord for me. Like it struck, like, bring. It was basically what it was. I said, you're expendable everywhere in life except for in your family.
Yeah.
That's the only place. If Jake died tomorrow, somebody else will shoot photography and a video for somebody's wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the truth.
Right.
Right? They will say, oh, we're so sorry. It's so sad that Jake passed away. And then they'll still have their wedding.
Yeah.
Right? And it's the same thing for anybody with any job. Right? You're expendable except for in your family. You laying on your deathbed, your kids are not worried about you working those extra hours and responding to the text message or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
They just want to spend more time with you. Mm-hmm. Man, it's hard, dude.
Yeah. But that's you're telling yourself a story right now and you're like, this is the dad I am right now. So it's who I want to be. Yeah, it's who I want to be. And I'm going to tell you what, Dale, you're a workaholic, man. You think so? Dude, you're a beast. You're up here, you're doing this, you're doing that, you run over here, you do this. Like, you're working all day long.
I feel the same about you, though. I really do. Like,
I do, but not like you.
You think so?
You work a lot, man.
My wife says that. Like, she says, I see a lot of your dad in you. And I'm like, man, I don't see it at all.
No, you work a lot. If you're not here, you're somewhere else, but you're always here. Like, you're coming back here. Like, take it, you're 4:30, you leave. You're here. Yeah. 8:30, you're here. Yeah. 3:30 or 4:30 in the afternoon, you're here. Yeah. Then you're here at night for the 5:30 to 6:30 class. Yeah. And then by that time, you go home and you're going to answer text.
Yeah. It's too much.
All the time.
It's too much.
And during the day, if you're there or if you're here, we're shooting a podcast, we're doing something. Now we've added more to this plate. Yeah. So you got to take, like, if that's actually some of the conversations that's actually coming up, then it's important that you take heed to those things. Like, you really focus in on them, because like you said, and like I said the other day, they're only gonna ask for you so much, and you're getting to that point where she's about to be a teenager, and what happens as teenagers, man. They don't want to be around their parents. Y'all are lame. Yeah. It transitions off. And then it switches the roles, and you're like, as a parent, you're like, hey, I want to hang out with you. And they're like, I don't want to hang out.
Yeah, you're super lame, dude.
Yeah. So we're at this really fine point with our daughters that if we don't take time right now, then we're going to pay the price later. And you got to be able to see that. So it's sad, though. Yeah. So because in your head, as a husband or a father, you're providing for your family.
Yeah, in my head, that's what I'm doing.
And and in your head, that's the best trait that a husband or father can do, as far as like, I need to provide.
It's ingrained in us.
It is,
as a father and a husband to provide for your family. But
unfortunately,
it's a double-edged sword.
It is something that that's not the only trait that God's called you to do. Is provide. Yeah, it's high on the list, but it's not the most important thing. Yeah. Right? I mean, take your relationship with God. If he only provided for you, but you don't have an intimate relationship with him. Yeah. It's just like, he gives you things. That's great. But I don't know him as my father. Like, that's where it's at for me. And I'm just like you, man. I'm at this turning point where God's been laying that on my life, is like, you work a lot. I'm always on a computer. I'm always editing. And my kids are right over here, and they're all playing. It's like, hey, be quiet. Like, it's like, you're trying to work. And I think that's just being an entrepreneur and working from the house. That is a one thing you deal with. Yeah. It's like, it's the new norm. Like, you're home, you see your kids all the time, you're still working, and work never stops as an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if it's 4:30 in the afternoon, there's no off time. That's why the text keeps coming in. That's why the emails are I got an email at 11:50 last night about pictures, and I'm like, Either I'm supposed to respond or you're just in your time right now.
Yeah, and
One of the two.
probably
And I
that.
think it's that.
Yeah.
I think it's that's the only time they have to communicate.
Or they've thought about it, it
Yeah.
hit their brain.
And
so
boom,
they,
I'm going to email.
And that's what it is a lot of times. Like the questions that are asked most of the time are unimportant.
Yeah.
You know
Not
what I mean?
worth your family time. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Or
So
can wait or something like that.
it can wait.
It's not
for
life or
sure.
death.
Not life or death. Right.
And that comes with just people having consideration too. Like I say that, but I was texting Dell at like 9:30 last night.
After you just said, I got a quick text, texted you at night.
Oh yeah. Well, Nikki was involved on that text, so it's like,
Oh yeah. So if it's a group,
as long as it's a group text, we're good.
It's different. Totally different. As my kids are crying in the corner.
Yeah.
I wish I had a dad.
Shut up. I'm answering this email.
Oh gosh.
We can make light of it, but it's true.
It's
like
true.
if you're getting that feedback, this is what I was talking about, the negative story. Like if you're getting a negative story told to you about yourself, don't just like always push that off. There's probably some truth.
All right.
in this.
All right, Jake. I'm gonna try this.
What are you gonna try?
I'm gonna turn my phone off
Well, that's scary.
when I get home. I know it is, but I think it's the right move.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, there can't be much that you're doing at the house that would
If somebody needs to get a hold of me that bad, they'll text Nikki,
true.
right? If it's important, like call Nikki. Hey, you have to be here now because of this. If it's not that, I think I can let it go.
You think for 1 month you could try this and just see what happens?
I think I'm gonna try.
I think you need to get Nikki behind you, supporting you too.
Oh, I have no doubt in my mind she would support me.
No, I'm saying like if you told her like, hey, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
Because honestly, there's a little like you said you have an addictive spirit. I don't. That's really bad to like say. Oh, you have
No,
an
it
addictive
is.
spirit, but it's true.
It's true.
And
Yeah.
working there's creativity. Certain things that we do, like
Dude.
creativity for us.
When
like
it
me
hits,
trying to
I
create
have
things.
to, if I don't feed the creativity right then, it goes away.
Yeah.
So a lot of times for me, like, she's like, do you really making a post for the gym right now? I'm like, but it hit me right now. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like something clicked and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that's good. I need to make that happen right
Yeah.
now. And so the creativity side of me is like, you got to do it.
It's the same. I'm the same way. I'll be at the house. I have a creativity thing. Like I need to do a post or I want to edit the podcast. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And I duck off into the office and I'll hear
Yeah.
Dee in the other ground. She's like, hey, you going to come watch the CrossFit games with me? And I'm like going to town.
Yeah.
And it's like now looking back, get out of the present mode and you get to the future and you're looking back and you're like, man,
Yeah, it's
I
not-
would have rather been sitting on the couch with my wife watching CrossFit.
Being completely lazy.
And making fun of people that
kidding.
actually do this for a living.
Yeah, right.
And we're like, you need to be better. And all of these athletes are way better than anything that we've ever done. But my point is like looking back, it's like, if I was to lose her today, like, was it worth that?
No,
It's not.
definitely
It's not
not.
worth it. And I don't want to look at life all the time like, oh, someone's going to die. I need to be fearful about it and do this. But I do want to take into consideration if my kids have said that, my wife has said that, and I'm the only one that's been like, nah, that's not true. Like, that's not how it is. Good chance you're in the wrong place.
Yeah. How do we get here, Jake?
I don't know.
This is crazy. Like this rabbit trail. Next thing you know, we're over here talking about,
Well, you have a new goal to set now.
1 month.
1 month. And you're pretty good at hitting goals.
Am I?
I would say so.
man.
If you say you're going to do something for 1 month, you're going to do it for 1 month. This is going to be a hard one.
This is gonna be a hard one.
Really hard for you.
Put my phone in the drawer.
He's like
make
only
it
when
disappear.
I'm at the house. Now he's only at the house for like 30 minutes. Reverse effect. He's always at the office.
Yeah. Well, I've started coming up here to do work
Yeah.
more, and in some ways, it's helped me because I try to do work here, and this is a conversation Nikki and I had like 2 nights ago. She's like, "You're going up to the office to work. Don't bring it home." I'm like, "Oh, you're so right, but I don't want to hear that right now." You know what I mean? So
That's
anyways.
true. Because now they lost that time during the day. So
Yeah.
now it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're going to take more time away.
Yeah.
It better not. Like it can't.
Yeah.
It can't come home. Because if it does now,
Yeah.
what is there? There's no Dell as a father, no Dell as a husband.
Yeah. So that's why we're here at 6:30 in the morning.
She's asleep or no?
Oh, she's definitely asleep, right?
No.
Well,
That's why we're here.
But no, we're here mainly because you have to do things. You have to do things when you can, especially when you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Right. We both have, like, to a degree, schedules and busy things that have to be done.
Yeah.
And so what do? You just make time.
All right.
Right whenever you have to.
Well,
Boom.
let's go over some of our
We're gonna
places that we can subscribe.
Okay.
That would help. Let's do a review.
Review.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we recapped on so we talked about adversity.
Yeah.
We talked about some steps. I gave y'all some steps that I do whenever I face, like, relationship adversity.
Yeah.
Try not to get mad.
Don't get mad.
Pray. Think. And then try to understand their point of view. Mm-hmm. Right. Whenever it comes to facing adversity with, like, obstacles in the mind or new adventures, it's persevere. Right. And what story are you telling yourself? You have this, like, negative output and thought process about yourself, who you are, right? Keep working, keep pressing, keep moving forward, right? Because it could be that, would you say, like, one swing?
Yeah, it's that last
could be that
swing.
one last swing, and boom, you're there. You
don't want to go through all of that, get there, and turn around. Just get the diamond.
Just get the diamonds, dude.
Go get it.
Go get it. What else did we talk about? We talked about, then we straight into being workaholics and talked about our family lives a little, or our home life a little bit.
Yeah.
I set a new challenge, a new goal.
That's good, though, because we've had some people asking us to talk about kind of family workings, that kind of stuff. So we're good with that.
No, it's always good. I think at the heart of who we are, that's, like, we want to be better at those things. So it's always going to naturally
come into that topic.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing us right now working to become better at those objects. So
I love what you said the other day when you're like, you said you told Sage, hey, I'm new at being a dad. This is my first time. I love that, dude, because it's true. Like, we're all doing these things for the first time, right? And we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, and a lot of times as parents, you think you have to put this front on that, I don't have to show weakness in front of my child.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That will destroy your relationship faster than anything.
Yeah.
Because then they see you, and you're up here, and you're unreachable, and you're you're, like, so much different than me. And
I remember the first time my dad apologized when I was a kid. Like,
what did you take it as?
I was like, it floored me, threw me back, like, oh my goodness, like, this is amazing. My dad, like, apologized to me as a kid.
You feel valuable. When your parent apologizes.
Felt value for sure.
Yeah, because it's not you're wrong and I'm right all the time.
Yeah,
that's where it comes in, is because then you're untouchable because you're right all the time. But if you can humble yourself in front of a child and tell them, hey, look, I made a mistake.
Yeah, I'm
sorry. They're like, oh, Dell.
That's my.
It's you this time.
Yeah. It's an alarm clock to tell myself to get to the gym. Go to work.
Here.
Yeah, go to work.
And then the other thing that we said is if you're looking for, if you came here looking for a way away from adversity,
this is not the place.
This is not the place. You came to the wrong place, because adversity is always going to be there. It doesn't matter.
So don't be born if you're not looking for adversity.
So it's like it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
you're gonna face it regardless. So you might as well learn how to deal with it.
Learn how to deal with
adversity. Through it.
Push through.
All right, man.
Boom, Jake. That was solid.
That was a good one.
Wait. Find us on.
Yeah.
Of course, social media outlets. But if you want to subscribe to get our episodes, subscribe on YouTube. And Spotify, those are our main two outlets right now. We're looking to get into Apple.
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get that one through. But that's the last big one.
Anchor.
If you go to Anchor and you want to download that app, you can leave us voice messages and stuff on there.
That's what I think is fun about it.
It is kind of
cool.
Get
the app, subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Send us some. That's what actually we need. We really need you to send us a message and tell us either one, topics that you guys want to hear about.
Dr. Phil.
You laugh. I'll have Dr. Phil on an actual podcast one day.
That would be amazing.
Then there'd be 2 Dr. Phils, and we're just going to come back.
My mind's going to be like,
you want to just blow up. Yeah, send us your ideas. I really want to hear ideas of what to talk about.
Yeah, we got some good ones this week.
Send us some positive feedback or negative feedback.
Yeah,
because either way, we're going to learn negative feedback in the trash. Just kidding. No, we're going to
learn
use
from
it.
We're going to learn
change.
from it.
That's part of being better. You got to hear the negative and the positive. Send us some negative, positive feedback. Tell us if you enjoy it. Tell us if you don't.
Yeah.
Comment.
Dude,
Do
we
something.
did get some good.
We did.
Good feedback and some good ones, like questions about who God is, questions about devotions and stuff like that with the family for kids. So that's stuff that we can tackle, man. Like for sure.
Yeah.
We need to make
It's right
that
up our
happen.
alley, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.